Today we're going to talk to Brian Funk, who is a business owner and entrepreneur turned full-time real estate investor, and he's going to share with us his journey and some of the challenges that he's overcome and things that he's learned along the way. Brian, originally your family had a excavating business, right? Can you kind of tell us about that and what your role was in it, and what happened that you transitioned from that as well?
Yeah, so I did grow up in my family business, Naomi. It was great. So I started in the trenches with a shovel and, assembling pipes together and things of that
They
nature.
made you work hard, huh?
Oh, yeah,
No
it was
desk
great.
job for
So
you.
I think I almost did every job in the company till the end. It was a great ride, great family.
So- Originally, your grandfather started
Yeah.
the business, right? Okay,
Correct.
and then it was passed on to your dad and other family members.
Yeah.
And they obviously made you work,
You bet.
grow up in it. Okay. So, at what point did you maybe realize this isn't what you want to do, or how old were you when that transition started taking place from family business to being out on your own?
Yeah, so that was about 7 years ago, I think 2019. A couple of years leading up to that, it was a heavy load and a lot of work.
Okay.
And it just came to the point where I just wondered if this is what I want to do the rest of my life. I loved the work and, but everything that came with it was challenging.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to challenges, but
Yeah.
when it's years on end, I just decided there had to be something else out there that I could put my hands to.
Sure. Everybody wants to be able to enjoy going to work every day.
Yeah.
So, in 2019, when you made that transition, had you already bought some real estate investments, or did you then begin at that point?
Yeah, so I actually started out of high school. So my father would have taught me and my brother how to purchase real estate. So the first property, I think we bought a townhouse for like $50,000 back in 2001, maybe. So
you bought an investment before you even bought a house to live in.
yeah,
Is that right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My
Good
father,
for him. That's
yeah.
great.
No,
Okay.
it was really great. My father to teach us how to do this, and just one deal at a time. So
Did you flip that, or did you hold it and put a tenant in? And
So we did hold the property maybe for a couple years, and then it doubled in value. So we sold that and continued to roll that into some other investments.
okay, so that you said the first one was in 2001.
Yes.
Okay, so there was a lot of market up, and then of course there was a huge market down.
Yeah.
Did that affect your investments a lot when that big downturn happened in 2008 and 9?
No, we were purchasing properties for good deals and numbers that made sense. So yeah, it was not an issue.
You weathered it pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So once you made that transition in 2019 to being a full-time investor, was that like a big mindset change for you, or tell us about that transition a little bit?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot. So I was involved. My wife had a business also that I jumped into after the family business, and we sort of grew that really rapidly to replace my income.
Okay.
And so that was like a whole nother part of this. And then we sold that business actually 2 times now. That's a whole nother
First time,
story.
I guess, didn't go so well.
Yeah, so we ended up finding another buyer to take it then.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, what do you think was the hardest part making that transition from, I'm a business owner to just this is my full-time career now, is
Yeah.
basically being an investor?
Yeah, it was definitely a mindset shift and trying to find myself and my giftings and the things I wanted to lean into. For some reason, real estate just always kept coming up because my brother and I built a portfolio and then sold it like in our early years. So I sort of understood a little bit, but I just started getting into like a lot of podcasts and joined some masterminds and just education. And that was a big part of the journey to just learn this business in and out so I could be successful.
Okay, so tell me about that education a little bit. What do you think was the most beneficial thing? How did you educate yourself really in a comprehensive manner?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I can't really pinpoint one single thing, but it was everything combined that brought a lot of that knowledge and where I could just grab a hold of it and understand and feel confident investing in properties
Sure.
and larger properties and just moving forward with that.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned mastermind, and you also said your dad kind of taught you some of that, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the hands-on experience and kind of like someone there to back you up has been what I've heard a lot of investors say. It makes a huge difference,
Yeah.
right? Because it gives you the confidence to say, hey, I could maybe go, do something outside of what's been successful already, right?
Right.
It's great to have that foundation.
Yeah.
You bought a house, you put a tenant in, you bought another one, right? But you've made a transition just from doing, fix and flips or long-term rentals, right? So you transitioned into commercial primarily now. So tell me about how you made that progression a little bit more.
Yeah, I guess the first deal I bought a 28 unit with another guy. So I guess that's commercial, anything over 4 units maybe technically, but
True, yeah.
yeah, so that deal we did learn a lot of lessons.
Okay, tell
that-
me about one or two of them.
yeah,
This might be good.
like the deal penciled really great, the
Yeah.
pro forma, it was great cash flow, and it would have carried through. And it still is now after we corrected some things, but the biggest thing was they raised the taxes from 12,000 annually to 56,000 annually. So that really dug into our NOI in
Yeah,
like
just
year
a smidge, huh?
yeah, in year 2 of owning the property. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so you were obviously significantly under excess. You guys improved the value, and then they realized you improved the value a lot, and then they hit you with a big tax bill.
It wasn't even because we really improved anything. We just sort of bought it and started raising rents a little bit and taking care of it. We paved and, landscaped the property where it was just stone and gravel and made it more attractive on the outside, but
Yeah.
it wasn't anything drastic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one because I've actually had quite a few investors I've worked with who said the same thing where they bought a property and then shortly thereafter they get a notice that the assessment's going to change. And sometimes it's not even like anything changed, but they use that opportunity to review the assessment. And then, they might say, oh, well, we thought this was a 26 unit and it's actually a 28 unit. Thus, we're going to increase the
right.
taxes, right? So they do have an opportunity to
Right.
legitimately increase it if that's the situation. And a sale usually is what, kind of triggers them to look at it. So I've had several investors who did successfully appeal, and I've also personally done that. So sometimes there's a pathway for appeal, but you just really have
Yeah.
to do your homework.
Yeah, it does
know?
take some time.
Yeah. Okay, so you learned some lessons.
Oh, yeah.
So it sounds like you're a numbers guy from learning how to underwrite properties and really make sure that you have your numbers in a good place. Is that just a skill you learned over time and from mistakes like, that maybe this apartment building where like, hey, you really have to be careful to account for some of these things along the way?
Yeah, I think the mastermind I was a part of really, we went through spreadsheets a lot, and so that helped me build confidence to underwrite my own deals.
Sure.
And then once you start earning your own deals and you have real numbers, it's much easier to then make more pro formas and projections of where you think a property could be headed.
Yep. And then you have the basis of knowledge of like, hey, if we have to replace 28 heat pumps, right, you know exactly how much those are going to cost, and if you can get a discount for buying in bulk because you have that experience from the previous investment. So, yeah. So you did some apartment buildings, but I know that you've also progressed into industrial, and obviously here we are inside the Strasburg Creamery as well. So that's a commercial investment too. So how did you know you wanted to transition from the apartment side of it into true commercial and industrial real estate?
I just felt like it was a good diversification play.
Okay.
And another partner I had brought some deals to me and was showing them to me, and I was like, they look pretty interesting. So we did buy 2 properties together so far, an industrial property and then an office building.
Okay. How's the office building going?
Great.
Okay. Was it fully occupied when you bought it? Or?
Yeah, it was fully occupied. So we just had to take over management and just care for the tenants and the property and continue on.
Sure. Same principles still apply, right? Like whether it's commercial or apartments, it's like take good care of your tenants, make sure your property looks nice, right? Like all the same principles still apply in the same realm. But the challenging part, I guess, with commercial is just that sometimes that leasing time frame can take a lot longer, and your tenant pool's very
Yeah.
different.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we had like 3 years of runway before we had a big vacancy. So we felt pretty confident taking the project with those factors.
Okay. Yep. Give you some time to get
Yeah.
a good footing under you.
Yeah.
Yep. So right now your portfolio is, can you kind of give us a summary of what it looks like right now?
Yeah, it is a big mixture. So, but it's worked well. Like all real estate needs managed correctly with the right management and contractors.
Sure.
But yeah, I have, I guess, office, flex building. This would be a mixed use commercial because we have the creamery, the inn, and there's more commercial in the back, with the retail also. And then we still have some Airbnbs and extended stays.
Okay. And out of all those different types, is there one that you're like, hey, I really like this type of investment. I want to do more of that,
Yeah.
or you like it all?
Yeah, I do like it all. I love the value add of taking a property and making it better and serving the community and, presenting a great product to rent out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're here in the Strasburg Creamery on the corner of Main and Strasburg, so to speak. And this has been kind of an iconic landmark for a long time. So you bought it along with several other partners and are working on bringing this project kind of to a new life and a new level. So can you kind of give us a rundown of this property and the plans you guys have for it?
Yeah, of course. So, yeah, we are in a multi-phase project. So
Okay.
last year we bought the property in May, and the goal was to get the ice cream shop open in July 4th, and then the Village Inn reopened in August. So we got through the first phase, and now we're going into the second phase of the general store being renovated in the back of the creamery. This will be open this spring, for visitors to come through. And also we have 3 apartments in the back that are turning into luxury suites for like traveling families and things coming into town. Lots of people go to Sight and Sound and just to come see the Strasburg Railroad. So we feel like a 2-bedroom suite will go well on the market.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of great opportunities to see stuff, visit the local Amish countryside and Sight and Sound and
Mhm.
all the local things here to see. And of course, come and get some ice cream and
That's right.
enjoy a little bit of nostalgia from the past.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So it's going to be really awesome when you guys are done. I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing that. But your vision is really to kind of bring back and kind of a way that serves the community and restore that historical touches for the property, right?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, just to bring back what was here, embrace the old and the historic, but also bring in just a little new flavor and things of that nature, just to serve the community and represent the historic part of Strasburg here.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a
Yeah.
very unique investment for sure.
Yeah.
Is there any other kind of creative or unique areas that you want to get into next for your next real estate investment?
I really like the triple net and some of these projects like that where it's, at least right now, I've only done 1 or 2 of those, but I'd really do like the triple net area. Just
Sure.
it's easy to lock in your expenses and income and 3% raises or things like that and just hold the project. So
It's so easy, right?
piece of cake.
Easy's good, but it can also be boring. So you
Yeah.
got to throw in a little bit of Airbnb and stuff that's a little more exciting, let's
Right,
say, to
right.
spice it up, right?
Yes.
So are most of your investments in the central Pennsylvania area, or have you bought anywhere else in the greater U.S. or even abroad?
No, mainly central PA. I mean, I guess we are a little, all the properties are within about 2 to 2.5 hours. So we're up in East Stroudsburg with one. We have an Airbnb in State College.
Oh, okay.
And then most everything else is sort of central PA then.
Okay. Have you done any of the, hey, we like to vacation here, so we're going to buy an Airbnb there type of investment?
Yeah, we haven't gone that way yet,
Okay.
but I'm open to in the future. But
All right. I'll tell your wife. She would
Yeah.
enjoy that, huh? So what role would you say have loans played in your investment portfolio and how you go about investments? Are you more on the aggressive, let's scale as much as possible, or you try to keep those leverage ratios low? Tell me about that.
I think I'm really focused on just responsible growth. After the couple years have passed since 2020, and then, you can see who's swimming with no shorts sometimes. And some of those lessons I've been able to just watch from the sidelines, fortunately enough. Of course, I've had my own lessons and, things unexpected happen. But for me, I feel responsible growth is where I'm headed just to continue to add to the portfolio.
So you've had some loans that maybe you got in 2021, 22 that were obviously very low rates that are resetting or will soon reset. So are you finding that that's like a big challenge, or is that fairly easy to navigate because rents have gone up since then and you can refinance at a rate that makes sense still?
I felt like 5 years has been enough time for us to raise rents and prepare for those events to happen. So we haven't had any challenging things with rates, skyrocketing. Obviously, like, maybe it's 6 or 6.5 right now, but you can still buy properties and invest at those rates.
Yeah, still reasonable and
Yeah.
careful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to when you were involved in the family business, when you're a business owner and entrepreneur, that mindset is very like, hey, risk is part of that package, and you really have to be willing to take some risk in order to grow a profitable business. But on the other side, investors, like, they really have to work hard to avoid risk and make sure that they're very careful for the long-term future growth of this real estate investment. So has that mindset change been challenging for you as you went from, hey, I'm a business owner, risk is good, to I'm an investor, I need to be careful about the risk that I take?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think, if you never risk anything, you're never going to get off home base. So you have to start risking something at some point. So I think just being around business and other entrepreneurs has really helped. And lots of my family are investors also, and other friends in the community and things like that has probably helped me wrap my mind around it and not worry about buying an investment property.
So, and it's good too to have a lot of community, right? Because you can share maybe your challenges in investment, and they can share theirs, and then together you can get benefit, right? It's kind of like the saying that rising tide lifts all boats.
Yeah.
It's you're around that type of positive reinforcement, you can really use the opportunity to learn from each other and grow.
Yeah, of course.
So, but it sounds like you really got the strong background of learning to work when you were young,
Yeah.
because that's like the best thing that could serve you as you go forward in life,
Yeah.
right? It's like whether you're an investor or a business owner, having that foundation where you know how to really apply yourself and get through those tough times serves you really well.
Yeah,
Right.
it does. Yeah.
So as you go forward in your investments, there's always a lot of challenges and things that you learn. Would you say to someone who's wanting to transition from being like, hey, I work full time, or I'm a business owner full time, to be an investor, are there some things that you say this would be beneficial to know before they make that transition?
Yeah, I think going from full-time business owner to, say, investor, it's definitely a journey, and it takes, from what I'm experiencing and what my goals are, it's like I'm looking at, a good 5, 10, 20 years to build, a solid portfolio, probably more like 10 to 20
Okay.
at the rate that I'm going. And I feel I'm building responsibly to where I can continue to risk, but have backup, and safety nets to keep moving forward, but to have that time and be realistic with yourself.
Right. So it's not going to be all sunshine and roses and trips
Yeah.
to Hawaii all the
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
It's like you have to prioritize cash flow, because when you make that transition and you no longer have that constant stream of income, it's almost like you get used to it, right?
Right.
Like it's always coming in. And when you're relying on your investments then to bring that stream of income instead, it really changes your mindset from like, what is this going to do for me necessarily in 20 years from now, to what is it going to do for me in 2 years when I need
Yeah.
that income? So from what I've heard from other investors, like it really changes how you think about investments too, from a holistic standpoint of like, it's not just in the future, but it's also now we need it to produce an income,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Earn their keep, so to speak.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've had other investors say like, hey, you really need to focus on that cash flow aspect, but it really is when you're looking at that long-term growth, it's great to be able to lay that foundation to say like, hey, in 20 years, you'll have that portfolio that, is going to be a really nice retirement, right? And nice living, but it's important in the here and now that like, you don't teach your kids of like, hey, you're going to have this in 20 years, you can take it easy, right?
Yeah.
And that's an important balance as well. So
Yeah.
it sounds like you're laying a really good foundation of helping your kids to work into that.
Yeah. Try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say that there's some things that really give you a lot of purpose and bring you a lot of joy in life as you're doing investments? Like, how do you find purpose in what you're doing and bringing into the community?
Yeah, I think sometimes it's taking a building that is neglected or vacant, or it seems like it might not have any hope. But when you have the opportunity to turn that around and rework it and renovate it to where it's a great product to come back out and serve the community instead of being a liability. So like this building was vacant for, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 months until we bought it and got it turning around again. So it was sitting here vacant, waiting for someone to just care for it again.
Yeah, and it's a really satisfying feeling to be able to say, hey, we're breathing life into this building, but ultimately it's about helping people create memories and really serving the community as well as not just hey, we're here making money, right? It's like there's a greater purpose for it.
Sure. Yeah, there's a much bigger purpose. We're serving up tons of smiles here every year.
Yeah.
So.
I know who could eat ice cream and not smile,
right? We have few upset customers.
Is there anything that you would say that has really been a great investment as far as either time, money, or just energy that you put into that you say, like, this has really been a huge benefit to me as a person?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the education and masterminds and just getting around other people that are doing it. Because if you're on your own, it can feel very alone.
Yeah.
But if you have a community around you that is doing similar things and investments and businesses, and it definitely helps you have more confidence. And then you have answers to questions you might have to continue on and figure out issues that come up.
Yeah, I would definitely reiterate that as well, because I know that just kind of when you're around other people who are like, oh, I'm stuck in an endless job and I see no future for myself. Like you kind of feel that, right? Versus when you're around other people who are like, oh yeah, I'm taking a risk in this business, but I'm doing it carefully and here's why it will work, right? It really helps you change your mindset and increase like the thought process of where you can go, right? And ultimately, we're not here just to be selfish. We're put here to be able to serve other people and do serve some greater good in the world, right? So if we're willing to take a little more of that challenge and put ourselves out there, sure, it can be uncomfortable, but it's going to serve more people than just yourself, if you stay where it's warm and comfortable, right? So if you had stayed in that trench in the family business, you might not be able to do all the great things that you can now do to be able to serve other people. Right?
Yeah, it's opened up some different opportunities for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we're excited for you guys in the Strasburg Creamery here, and looking forward to coming back. So people can come and get ice cream here. They can also rent individual rooms, kind of like a bed and breakfast upstairs, only you don't serve breakfast. Right? And then they can also, once you guys finish renovating the apartments, there'll be some apartments that can be rented on a short-term basis. And hopefully you'll have a restaurant soon. Possibly.
Yeah, we're working on a restaurant tenant coming in for this summer, so we're excited about that. The general store We'll be open here this spring, and we're reopening the ice cream shop first day of spring.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, please come and visit the Strasburg Creamery and see everything they have to offer here. And I'm sure Brian and all his partners will appreciate that. And you'll be glad you did. Great ice cream.